Hey guys, it is a beautiful day today and we are marching into Casseroles. I am so excited to be here with all of you. Thank you so much, Greg from Greg's Cumberland Kitchen, for inviting me again this year to be part of this collaboration. It's a really neat one. And for me, it's the perfect time of year because springtime means busy time. Babies are being born, crops need planted, gardens need tended. It's just time to get out and not spend so much time inside in the kitchen. And usually casseroles are pretty fast and easy. And for me, today, I'm going to whip it up and have it ready and put it in the oven later when it's time for supper. So come along with me as we do this. But first, I want to show you the ingredients that you need. What we are making today is Mexican casserole. I was over at my husband's family's house and she served this to us. Said it's been in her family for years and they all love it, and she shared it with me. I took a picture, I printed it out, and now we're going to make this together. What I loved the most about it was it just is basic ingredients. We love a good Taco Tuesday, but sometimes you just want something different. So that's what we're doing on this day. Whether it's Tuesday when you're watching this video, it's Tuesday here at the farm. You're supposed to just get Fritos. We went ahead, we're going to amp it up just a little bit and do the chili cheese. Sharp cheddar, tomato sauce, diced green chilies, cream of mushroom soup, an onion. Here's a little trick for you, friends. When you get onions, peppers, and the such, go ahead, chop up your veggies. Put them in a container so that when you want to put together a fast meal, you certainly can. No need to go to the drive-thru if you've made it easier on yourself in the days before. This is beef that I grew myself here on the farm. No shame in my game. Today I don't have the fresh garlic, so we're going to go ahead and just use the jarred kind. The only seasonings you need are chili and cumin. If you don't have them, just use taco seasoning. All's good. So first thing I want to do is get the stovetop going. And we're going to get our hamburger started. Now, I suppose if you wanted to, you could probably use pork or chicken. I really don't know. I've only had this recipe one other time, and my husband really liked it. So I'm going to try my best to stick to the recipe the best I can. But you know me, I like to go rogue. I like to go ahead and, if I can, spread this out evenly on the pan. It just seems to cook a little more evenly. And it said 1 medium onion. I'm going to kind of guess at this. We like onion. We also like peppers, and I really would love to put some pepper in there too. But again, I'm going to do my best and stick with the recipe. And we'll go ahead and put in approximately 1 clove of garlic. That might have been a really large garlic. I'm going to leave it on top until this starts to brown. And then these onions might caramelize a bit. We'll cook all this up. You just don't want to put your garlic on the very bottom because it will burn a little quicker than the other ingredients. So after you have cooked your meat and drained off any fat, then we're going to start adding other stuff to it. And I tell you what, if you see these little brown bits here in the pan, those are flavor, and we do not want to miss out on that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a minute and I'm going to go around and I'm going to make sure I'm scraping up all the bits of brown so that we get all the bits of flavor. Your meat is like mine, and it really isn't very fatty. My butcher does an amazing job for me. You can actually just go with a paper towel and try to sop up any fat there might be. And that's what I'm going to do here. Pull to this side, clean that up. First I got that flavor. Did you see that? But look at that. There really wasn't much. It didn't even really go soak through my towel. So There really wasn't much fat to pick up. I need to drain my can of chili. Again, there wasn't much in there, but if you do not have chopped chilies like I do, make sure you chop them up. Ooh, spice. That adds a little spicy kick to that. Smells good. We're going to add, it's got the onion, the garlic. Now we're going to add in our tomato sauce. This is your 15-ounce can. Lovely, lovely. Okay, kind of got that mixed in. And we've got a can of cream, a condensed soup. I tell you what, this stuff is the best for casseroles. It's just kind of a standard for casseroles, isn't it? Oh, I didn't think my spoon was going to fit up in there, and it sure did. This particular brand was from Aldi's, and I tell you what, that is a stiff can of cream and condensed soup. That's okay. I think I've got about all of that out there. And while the meat's still hot, this should just kind of soften this up so that we can mix it in. It'll kind of cool down the meat. It's a win-win. So now that I've mixed all that together, the last ingredient is the cheese. And then we need a teaspoon each of our chili powder. Oops. And our cumin. And like I said, if you don't have it and you have taco seasoning, just use 2 teaspoons of that. It'll be fine. Whoops. For me, cooking is not an exact measurement. I do try to follow, I will follow recipes when I can, but there is just something about when I cook, it's just a little of this, a little of that. So, today you're going to get an actual recipe, and I will link this down below with permission from the cousin. If not, you all need to just be happy and respect that because it is a family dish, and she didn't care that I made it, but she didn't say whether or not I could share the recipe, so I will ask that. So here we go. This part's ready. And the pan is cooled enough. I probably don't really need that anymore. It calls for an 8x8 pan. My hand is about 7 inches by 5 inches. So we've got about a 6x8 maybe. I'm going to go ahead and spray this pan just to be ready. And guys, I'm a little nervous. I don't know if this is all going to fit or not. We're going to find out. My other pan already has something in it, so I can't use it. So there's 1 cup. Whoops. A little more than 2 cups here. Let's have 2 cups there on the bottom. And while I'm measuring out, I'll go ahead and get a cup ready for the top. Don't think I did that right. Don't think I did that right. I think we're supposed to have... this makes more sense. We have 1 layer of corn chips. There we go. 1 cup of corn chips. We're going to do it that way. She's going to watch this video and she's going to be like, oh, Angela, you've ruined my family's casserole. It's okay. My family will still eat it. So we have 1 layer of corn chips down, 1 layer of meat mixture down. Now we're going to add another layer of corn chips. Okay. The remaining meat mixture, this is barely going to fit, friends. Barely going to fit. Woo! Almost had it go over. Almost. And then we're going to top it with the remainder chips. And normally your pan is not going to be this full. But remember, I had to work with what pan I had today. I already had something in my other one in the fridge. So I'm going to put another pan under this in case it bubbles over. And then tonight when I bake this up, I'll bring you guys back. And while we wait on that, I want to tell you a little bit more about this collaboration. There will be a giveaway on March 31st, which consists of 2 sets of casserole dishes, set of bamboo cutting boards, double casserole carrier, and a food processor. Greg wants to make sure that you all have everything you need to make sure the delicious casserole recipes we're going to see this month, you will be able to put them together. Make sure you go check out all the other channels on the playlist on Greg's channel. It's time for supper. The oven's preheated. I went ahead and put the casserole in, but I decided to bring you along for the side dishes. I'm going to make, we'll call it a refried bean casserole. It's just fancy refried beans. But come here, let me show you what we're doing. I've got my refried beans, onion and garlic, cilantro, and the rest of the cheese. And basically what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and open up these beans. Okay, now that we've got our refried beans open here, I'm going to dump those out here into a bowl so we can kind of doctor them up. You can use whatever kind you want. I'm just going to use 1 can here. And no measurements here. We're just going to add some garlic and some onion. We like lots. Give that a quick mix. I'm also going to, there's probably about another cup in here. So I'm going to take half of this. 3/4 to a full cup. So, you know, whatever's left in the bag here, we're going to mix this into our beans. We're going to spray our pan. And we're going to dump those in there. Super simple, super easy. It's just going to make for a side that'll kind of amp up our protein and make sure that we get everyone fed. And leftovers is never a bad thing. And so I'm just going to take these beans, and you're probably wondering why I'm making these little divots in here. Well, those are what I'm going to lovingly call cheese pockets. Okay? Because I'm going to put the rest of this cheese in here, because that casserole, for me, didn't seem like enough cheese. I use a lot of cheese. So we're going to have some super cheesy refried beans. I'm going to go put this in the oven with the casserole, and we're going to bake this for like 20 to 30 minutes. We also have some of this Spanish rice that I had bought during a challenge this fall, and I have some of this left. So we're going to go ahead and put this as a side also. Here is our Mexican casserole with our cheesy refried beans. Rice is cooking, and I'll be back to finish this off. Okay, I'm going to dump our 2 bags of rice in here. And it actually looks pretty good. I had some homemade salsa here that I was thinking about adding to it, but I don't really think it's going to be necessary. I'll just set it on the table. I'm also going to get some sour cream and put it on the table. along with the little bit of Fritos that are left. But before I get it ready to serve, let's go ahead and do one last thing. Let's go ahead and put a little bit of cilantro on top of our rice and our beans. Meet you at the table. I already know what it tastes like because we've had it before. But just for you, we'll have a taste test. Yep. It's still a good one. Let's check out this rice and maybe a little beans. Good choice for sides. Tell me, when you make yours, what sides will you make? Thanks for being here today. Always love having you joining me in the kitchen or whatever I'm doing. Bye for now, friends. Until next time.